Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, I have more legal gossip to report to you, as well as I want to comment on some law stories. First and foremost, you cannot make this up. Deters Law is one badass law firm. But we walk to a totally different beat than everybody else, which is a good thing. It's just reality. It's just a good thing. And it's hysterical because the great work that we've done in the Dr. Durrani cases and other cases goes unrecognized by anybody, but they all know it. And there's jealousy galore. But because of my circumstances and situation, you can't make this up. Despite repeated requests to the Northern Kentucky Bar Association, Chase Law School, UC Law School, we can't get a resume from any new law students. Now, we recently hired, Deters Law recently hired a sharp young man graduating from Chase Law School who maintains he's the only conservative in their entire class. Pretty crazy, isn't it? But we also have entered into a couple new relationships, which is, we all find it hysterical. And in fact, on Tuesday, I'm going to interview one of them, and that is Lisa Wells. That's correct. Lisa Wells, who used to be on 700 WLW, who was arrested, had a prescription drug issue, is cleaning up, has her act cleaned up, and is doing much better. But guess what? Does any of these legal lawyers want to hire her? No. Well, Lisa's smart, and she's hardworking. So guess what? We're giving her the opportunity. So Lisa Wells will be here on Tuesday, and I'm going to interview, and we'll have some fun, and I think you'll find it very interesting. The other person that, just like Lisa, I call them, everybody's nicked. We have so many people in our office that are nicked, and you know what? I kind of like it. I mean, it's all about, I can go down the list of these people in our office, and they've all had something in their background, and everybody treats them like they're lepers. Well, I guess we will be the Christmas Island of misfit toys. The second person that we now have a relationship is not an employee, but is doing some contract work, is Don Gentry, the former family court judge that got screwed over. And I still tell Don, I said, Don, I want to interview you too, and hopefully that'll be coming soon. Don Gentry went to Latin school. Don Gentry's smart as hell, but she's also shunned. Well, if you're out there and you're shunned and you've got something to contribute and you got your act together now, well, I guess everybody will end up just working at Deters Law that fits that. But I want to report that. Pretty good gossip. That might shock some of you. Scott High School. We will be meeting tomorrow morning on a Saturday with the father and the child that was beat up by some black boys at Scott High School. I've watched the videotape, and I can just go ahead and tell you that you can expect some lawsuits being filed by Deters Law as it relates to this incident. And I'm telling you, folks, it's unbelievable the double standards that we have in this country. What have I been saying boldly that no one else says? Black privilege. I got a great story to tell you about my car accident. I bumped into, ever so slightly, a vehicle several weeks ago and barely cracked the bumper of the vehicle. The lady was fine, got out of the car, yeah, everything's fine. I told her I'd pay for the damage, don't want to report it, admitted fault, gave her my insurance, driver's license, even did a video because I wanted to leave because I had to go pick up the Angels. There wasn't even a police report. Police report says, hey, if he gave you all the information, he admitted fault, you don't need a police report. I mean, I'm doing everything right, you know. Fine, I'll pay for that bumper. By the way, it's a hybrid, so I knew the bumper was going to cost more. I get a bill for $1,000. I was willing to pay that. You ready for this? The woman says she had to go get massages. She's going to go to a chiropractor. I mean, do you wonder why? See, this is what's different about me. This is what's different about Deters Law. We call them as we see them. There is such BS that goes on the plaintiff side of the law as there are in the defense side. It's unbelievable. The creating of a case makes me sick. Anyway, I told my insurance company, do not pay it. I ain't paying it. I told them, you can sue me and we'll go to court. When a jury sees this very slight crack in the bumper, they're going to say, yeah, that woman wasn't hurt. Completely fraud. Eviction moratorium. A federal judge, and by the way, I'm for the little guy. I defend people. I have defended people that are getting foreclosed on and evicted. But folks, I'm telling you, we can't have a blanket moratorium on this. I asked my wife this yesterday in the kitchen. I said, if you were poor and there was an order that says you don't have to pay rent, even if you could pay the rent, would you pay the rent? She goes, no. I said, exactly. And then you get behind on the rent. But can you imagine what the landlord is position they're in? They got a mortgage. I mean, once again, government interference in these things is never good. Vaccine patents, more government interference. These companies have patents on these vaccines. And our government is saying we're going to waive protection on those vaccine patents for these other countries. That's horrible, awful, Soviet. I always thought only Soviet and communist countries seized the assets of their businesses. Nope, United States does it. The Peloton recall. I don't get it. It's tragic that little boy got underneath a running treadmill and was killed. But come on. Little kids shouldn't be underneath treadmills. And Peloton has to recall all of them. I'm sorry. I don't get the treadmill. Again, I'm a plaintiff's guy. I don't get it. Last but not least, I want to bring up something that really burns my ass. In the history of this country, in most recent history, it blows me away that our government, our FBI, has raided, not just any lawyer, the lawyers of the President of the United States. Folks, this doesn't happen. Lawyers' offices and homes do not get raided as part of the investigation. There's something called attorney-client privilege. They did it with Cohen with Trump. They did it with Giuliani with Trump. I mean, it's disgraceful. Disgraceful. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. That are my legal musings for the day.